Hello, I am naturopath expert Shikha Gupta from Lucknow. I am practicing naturopathy since 23 years. Today, I am going to describe you about fasting therapy, our ancient therapy. Fasting therapy, Akash Chikitsa. Fasting versus world religions. Hinduism. Fasting is commonly practiced on new moon days and during festivals. People keep fast on auspicious months and festivals. Christianity example include Lent, during which Catholic do not eat meat on Fridays, and Coptic Christians fast for total of 210 days throughout the year. Islam, Muslims fast during the month of Ramadan, refraining from consuming any food or liquid from sun up until sundown. Judaism, fasting serves as a symbol of atonement and remembers with 6 fasting days each year. Buddhism, Buddhists generally fast from noon to dawn of following days. Fasting and Gandhiji. Through Gandhiji believed in all systems of medicine, he was particularly drawn to nature cure and believed in preventive techniques for disease management. When it came to his own health, he would treat himself through nature cure or by fasting and experimenting with dietetics. Through Gandhiji believed in all systems of medicine, he was particularly drawn to nature and believed in preventive techniques for disease management. When it came to his own health, he would treat himself through nature cure by fasting and experimenting with dietetics. If physical fasting is not accompanied by mental fasting, it is bound to end in hypocrisy and disaster, Gandhiji said. One more quote, a genuine fast cleanses the body, mind and soul. It purifies the flesh and to that extent sets the soul free. One more quote of Gandhiji, all fasting and penance must as far as possible be secret. One more quote, fasting and prayer are common injections in my religion. During his long career as a lawyer and a public dealer fighting for the rights of Indian living in South Africa and freedom fighter in India, Gandhi undertook 17 fasts for various reasons. The total days of his fast amounts to roughly 135 days. Fasting was a weapon used by Gandhi as part of his philosophy of ahimsa, non-violence as well as satyagraha. The earliest fast of 7 and 14 days were observed in Phoenix Ashram, South Africa as a presence of moral lapse among some of the inmates of the ashram in 1913. The first time Gandhiji fasted in India in the interest of striking mill workers to protect their rights of fair pay was in Ahmedabad. This is the picture of Gandhiji's fasting in 1948. Eating right is important for good health, but taking short breaks as fast also improve your health. Many research theories state that fasting has many benefits as it can improve blood sugar control by reducing insulin resistance, treat inflammatory conditions such as multiple sclerosis, lower the risk of coronary heart disease by improving blood pressure, triglycerides and cholesterol level, improve brain function, increase metabolism and more. Fasting is the best therapy you can do. What is fasting? Let's understand. Fasting is an act of voluntarily declining from consumption of some or all food, drink or both for certain period. In naturopathy treatment, fasting therapy is believed to be important for the preservation of health. What is fasting? Let's understand. The duration of carrying our fast therapy is based upon the patient's age, nature of the disease and prior drug consumption. Thus, it is always recommended to consult a naturopath before conducting the practice of prolonged fast. One must also be mentally prepared and gather professional guidance, as skilled practitioners would advise one to undertake short fast lasting 2 to 3 days and gradually increase the duration. Fasting therapy. A beautiful quote by Gandhiji: a genuine fast cleanses the body, mind and soul. It crucifies the flesh and to that extent sets the soul free. Fasting is an effective treatment for removing the disorder of mind and body and is a process of providing rest to digestive system. The vital energy which digests the food is wholly engaged in the process of elimination during fasting. Mahatma Gandhi himself was a practitioner of fasting. He fasted for many times, some of health and of course sometimes due to politics. Here is a beautiful pictures of pizza, burger, fast food, and in other hand salads, green salads and alkaline diet you must say, and ginger tea. Health benefits. Health benefits of fasting. Let's understand. Promotes blood sugar control by reducing insulin resistance. Promotes better health by fighting inflammation. May enhance heart health by improving blood pressure, triglycerides and cholesterol level. May boost brain function and prevent neurodegenerative disorders. Health benefits may include aids weight loss by limiting calories intake of boosting metabolism, increases growth hormones secretion which is vital for growth, metabolism, weight loss and muscle strength, could extend longevity, may aid in cancer prevention and increase the effectiveness of chemotherapy. Promotes blood sugar control by reducing insulin resistance. Several studies have found that fasting may improve blood sugar control, which may be helpful for those at risk of developing diabetes. A 2023 study of 209 people found intermittent fasting 3 days per week can reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes by increasing insulin sensitivity. Decreasing insulin resistance can increase your body's sensitivity to insulin, allowing it to transport glucose from your bloodstream to your cell more effectively. Coupled with the potential blood sugar lowering effect of fasting, this could help keep your blood sugar steady, preventing spikes and crashes in your blood sugar level. A 2022 review of research noted that intermittent fasting and time restricted fasting may reduce risk factor associated with metabolic syndrome, a group of 5 risk factors that increase the likelihood of type 2 diabetes, heart disease and stroke. However, additional studies are still needed to compare the effect of fasting with restricting calories. Intermittent fasting and alternate day fasting may help decrease blood sugar level and reduce insulin resistance. Let's understand the promotes better health by fighting inflammation. While acute inflammation is a natural immune process used to help fight off infections, chronic inflammation can seriously affect your health. Research shows that inflammation may be involved in the development of chronic conditions such as heart disease, cancer and rheumatoid arthritis. Some studies have found that fasting can help decrease level of inflammation and promote better health. One 2022 review of 18 studies found that intermittent fasting could significantly reduce level of C-reactive protein, which is a marker of inflammation. A small study discovered that practicing intermittent fasting for 1 year was more effective at decreasing level of inflammation and reducing certain risk factor for heart disease compared to the control group. Some studies have found that fasting along with resistance training could decrease several markers of inflammation and may be useful in treating inflammation conditions. Fasting may enhance heart health by improving blood pressure, triglyceride and cholesterol levels. Heart disease is considered the leading cause of death worldwide, accounting for an estimated 19 million deaths globally in 2020. Switching up your diet and lifestyle is one of the most effective ways to reduce your risk of heart disease. Some research has found that incorporating fasting into your routine may be especially beneficial for heart health. One review revealed that alternate day fasting could reduce level of total cholesterol and several risk factors for heart disease in people with overweight compared to the control group. Another review showed that alternate day fasting could significantly decrease blood pressure as well as level of triglyceride, total cholesterol and LDL, bad cholesterol. Fasting has been associated with a lower risk of coronary heart disease and may help lower blood pressure, triglyceride and cholesterol level. Fasting may boost brain function and prevent neurodegenerative disorders. Though research is mostly limited to animal research, several studies have found that fasting could have powerful effect on brain health. Animal studies from 2018 to 2021 have reported that fasting could protect brain health and increase the generation of nerve cells to help enhance cognitive functions. Because fasting may also help relieve inflammation, it could also aid in preventing neurodegenerative disorders. In particular, animal studies suggest that fasting may protect against and improve outcome for conditions such as Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's. However, more studies are needed to evaluate the effect of fasting on brain function in humans. Animal studies show that fasting could improve brain function, increase nerve cell synthesis and protect against neurodegenerative conditions such as Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's. Let's understand the health benefits backed by science. Fasting may provide several health benefits including weight loss, blood sugar control and protection against medical conditions like cancer and neurodegenerative disorders. Despite its recent surge in popularity, fasting is a practice that dates back centuries and plays a central role in many cultures and religions. Defined as abstinence from all or some foods or drinks for the set period, there are many different ways of fasting. Generally, most fasts are performed over 24 to 72 hours. Intermittent fasting, on the other hand, involves cycling between period of eating and fasting ranging from few hours to a few days of a time. Fasting can have health benefits such as increased weight loss and better brain function. Here are 8 health benefits of fasting. 8 aids weight loss by limiting calories intake and boosting metabolism. Many dieters experiment with fasting to try to lose weight. Theoretically, abstaining from all or certain foods and beverages should decrease your overall calorie intake, which could lead to increased weight loss over the time. One older review from 2015 showed that whole day fasting could reduce body weight up to 9% and significantly decrease body fat over 12 to 24 weeks. Another review found that intermittent fasting was more effective in including weight loss compared to continuous calorie restriction. In addition, other research has found that fasting may lead to greater reduction in body fat and belly fat compared to continuous calorie restriction. Fasting may increase metabolism and help reduce body weight and body fat. Fasting increases growth hormone secretion, which is vital for growth, metabolism, weight loss and muscle strength. Human growth hormone HGH is a protein hormone central to many aspects of your health. Research shows that this key hormone is involved in metabolism, weight loss and muscle growth. Several studies have found that fasting could naturally increase HGH level. One review article noted that fasting for 37.5 hours can increase basal HGH, human growth hormone, concentrations by as much as 10 times and also reduces metabolic rate at which the body clears human growth hormone. Studies show that fasting can increase level of human growth hormone, an important protein hormone that plays a role in growth, metabolism, weight loss and muscle strength. Fasting could extend longevity. One more benefit, let's understand. Several animal studies have found promising result on the potential lifespan extending effect of fasting. One 2021 study analyzed the effect of periodic fasting on the human gut and found that fasting increased the diversity of helpful bacteria in the gut microbiome, including the Cistincella species, which are related to longevity. The researchers also noted the increase in sirtuins protein involved in metabolic regulation that are also associated with longevity. In 2021 review of older human and animal research has turned up similar findings, reporting that fasting could be effective in increasing longevity and delaying disease. However, further studies are needed to understand how fasting may impact longevity and aging in humans and which fasting plans are more effective. Animal studies have found that fasting could delay aging and increase longevity, but human research is still lacking. Fasting may aid in cancer prevention and increase the effectiveness of chemotherapy. A review published in the American Cancer Society Journal noted that intermittent fasting may benefit the treatment of prevention of cancer in some situations. It may decrease tumor growth and toxicity from chemotherapy in some people, but they note that more high quality clinical traits are needed and recommended that people undergo cancer treatment only do intermittent fasting as a part of clinical trial. For some situations and type of cancer, it could potentially have a negative effect. Another review of test tube and animal suggests that fasting could reduce tumor progression and increase chemotherapy's effectiveness. Despite these promising findings, additional studies are needed to look at how fasting may influence cancer development and treatment in humans. Some animal and test tube studies suggest that fasting could block tumor development and increase the effectiveness of chemotherapy. This is the picture. Fasting has various health benefits that include improved cardiovascular health, decreased blood sugar, cell reformation and recycling, better insulin sensitivity, boost metabolism and improve overall immune system. Let's understand part 2, types of fasting. Fasting therapy is not a process of abstaining oneself from food and water for days on end. Intermittent fasting is one of the best fasting techniques with alternatives. For example, intermittent fasting can be broken down into subcategories such as alternate day fasting, which involves eating every other day, or time restricted feeding, which entails limiting intake to just a few hours each day. 10 tips on how to do fasting right. Fast for the right amount of time. Always drink water. don't drink after the fast, don't binge after the fast, eat a protein-rich meal before fasting, consider intermittent fasting, always fast overnight, do not severely restrict calories, especially when fasting, drink coffee or tea when needed, do not over-exercise when fasting, take necessary precautions if you have underlying medical conditions such as type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance. Intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is an eating pattern where you exercise alternate cycles of fasting and eating. That is, skipping breakfast, enjoying your first meal at noon and your last meal at night. Under this type of fasting, you restrict your body to eating for a gap of 8 hours and again fasting for 16 hours. People also practice the pattern of skipping food once or twice a week or eat only about 500-600 calories during 2 days of week. This type of fasting therapy can cause weight loss, improve various metabolic features like reduce oxidative stress, inflammation and reduction in blood sugar level, prevent insulin resistance. 6 ways to do daily intermittent fasting. Let's understand. Simple fast needs 12 hours, brunch fast needs 14 hours, cycle fast 16 hours, 3 times weekly. Strong fast 16 to 18 hours daily, warrior fast 19 to 21 hours daily, 1 day fast, full 24 hours fast each week. This is the picture of intermittent fasting, 8 hours feed and 16 hours fasted. There is another picture of intermittent fasting, before 12 p.m. no milk, no sugar, fasting window. And eating window is 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., 8 hours fed. Now, another picture is after 8 p.m. fasting window. Health benefits of intermittent fasting. Helps reduce weight, lower risk of diabetes, lowers blood pressure and cholesterol level, improves heart health, increase lifespan, delay the onset of neurodegenerative disease. 3 parts of intermittent fasting. First, having too much coffee in the fasted state. This is very, very wrong. Not cleaning up your diet and lifestyle before getting into fasting regimen. Third one, inadequate hydration, especially when adopting ketogenic principles. You have to concern about these 3 things. Now, let's understand the method of fasting. During fasting, the body eliminates the larger amount of stored waste. The procedure follows drinking in alkaline juices or raw vegetable juices and water. The added sugar in the juice strengthens the heart as a mixture is prepared from fresh fruit. Canned or frozen juices must be avoided. As lot of energy is spent during the fasting therapy, it is essential to take physical rest and relax your mind. The success rate of fasting therapy largely depends on how one ends it or breaks a fast. One must ensure that she eats or he eats slowly and chew the food thoroughly. Do not overeat after fasting, as it takes several days or gradual change to your normal diet. Refer to diet therapy for different types of diet suitable for you. This is the picture of healthy fasting, in which you can see fruits, green veggies, salads, nuts, etc. Let's understand how to start fasting. There are many different types of fast, making it easy to find a method that fits your lifestyle. Here are few of most common types of fasting. First one, water fasting, involves drinking only water for a set amount of time. Juice fasting, this entails only drinking vegetables or fruit juice for a certain period. Intermittent fasting, Intake are partially or completely restricted for a few hours up to few days at a time, and a regular diet is resumed on another day. Partial fasting, certain food or drinks such as processed food, animal product or caffeine are eliminated from the diet for a set period. Calorie restriction, calories are restricted for few days every week. Within these categories are also more specific types of fast. 9 types of fasting strategies. Let's understand. 6/8 method is 16 hours fast. 20/4 method means 20 hours fast. 5:2 method, restricted calories intake 500 to 600, 2 days a week. Liquid diet fasting removes solid food, consumes only liquid like broth, soups and juices. Eat, stop, eat. 24 hours fast once or twice per week. OMAD, 1 meal a day. The warrior diet, a small amount of raw fruits, vegetables during the day and one large at the night. Alternate day fasting, 75% energy restriction every other day. 1 day and 3 day, short term water only fast. How is fasting useful? Fasting as a therapy has been recommended by various physicians from ancient to modern times due to the benefit attached to it. Have a glance at some of the physiological and metabological benefits. Detoxification or cleansing of the body, promotes blood sugar control by reducing insulin resistance, advantageous for diabetic patient, promotes better health by fighting inflammation, promotes heart health by improving blood pressure, triglyceride and cholesterol level, may boost brain function, increase nerve cell synthesis and prevent neurodegenerative disorders, boost metabolism and aid in the reduction of body weight and fat, increase growth hormone secretion vital for growth, metabolism, weight loss and muscle strength, may block tumor development and aid in cancer prevention, increase the effectiveness of chemotherapy. In this slide, you can see the 6 stages of fasting. First stage, in which glucose goes up right after the meal, glucose goes down 3 hours after meal, then glucose settle down 9 hours after meal, fat burning 11 hours after meal, ketosis 14 to 16 hours after meal, and autophagy starts from 16 hours after meal. This is the picture. Now let's understand the safety and side effects. Fasting may not be suitable for everyone and may cause side effects. For example, if you have diabetes, fasting can lead to spikes and crashes in your blood sugar level, which could be dangerous. It's best to talk with a doctor first if you have any underlying health conditions or are planning to fast for more than 24 hours. Additionally, fasting is not generally recommended without medical supervision for older adults, adolescent people with underweight or people undergoing cancer treatment. If you decide to try fasting, be sure to stay well hydrated and fill your diet with nutrient-dense food during your eating period to maximize the potential health benefits. Additionally, if fasting for a long period, try to minimize intense physical activity and get plenty of rest. The bottom line is fasting may have potential health benefit including weight loss, improved blood sugar control, heart health, brain function and cancer prevention. When coupled with a nutritious diet and healthy lifestyle, incorporating fasting into your routine could benefit your health. There are different ways to practice fasting, which makes it easy to find the method that fits into just about any lifestyle. Experiment with different types of find what works best for you. There are some references. So, I think it will be very beneficial for you people. Go through these presentation, these slides again and again and if you find any naturopath or concern, if you think, so you can go beyond this. And thank you so much for understanding fasting.